Yo, 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 yo. You don't know we're back, man. It's your boy Rashid Steak TV. So, yo, check this out, man. I'm about to check into a video, man. Talking about, Kendrick Lamar's, dark and violent past, But get into, his upbringing, the struggles my man went through because we all know, man, unlike Drake, man, Kid actually lived that life, man. He lived the life that he raps about, man. That's facts. And I mentioned that a while ago, man. Kid lived the life that he talks about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, before we get into anything, man, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, man. Let's get active.
Kendrick was walking with me. I just felt knuckles go BAM! Hit me in the back of the head. Kendrick was like, hey! And he fighting with like two dudes.
I see this nigga Dave and K-Dot chasing the nigga. They jump a nigga.
He thought I was somebody else, bro. He low-key tried to press me. See, Kendrick grew up in the hood, like really grew up in the hood.
What's Kendrick's name from Westside?
The good kid in a mad city. This phrase, often used to describe Kendrick himself, paints a picture of someone surrounded by chaos, but remaining untouched by it. However, this isn't the real story. For one, the title Good Kid Mad City isn't just about Kendrick. It represents every kid who grew up in Compton, not just those who avoided gang life, but every single child shaped by their environment.
The half of the story of kids in Compton is just basically good kids in a mad city.
I feel that we all good kids in a mad city. You know what I mean? It all stems from being a kid and it's just the shit you exposed to. You know what I mean? I was exposed to it too.
No one is born evil. It's the circumstances and environments we grow up in that mold us. The album captures this universal experience, reflecting on how good people can be pushed to do terrible things. Kendrick, like many others from his neighborhood, did some of these terrible things.
I don't think they really understand the story all the way. As far as I put out there, I'm just the good kid in the mad city. You know what I mean? I put out the positive out there, but they don't know the negatives I had to go through yet. I told them I went to school and I got straight A's, but I didn't tell them that I was out there with in the streets with the homies.
Kendrick was like supposed to be a nerd or just a regular guy, and now all of a sudden he's like a gangbanger or some shit like that. Like,
the idea that you have to actively join a gang to face violence or life-threatening situations is laughable. Even if Kendrick has never raised the flag, that wouldn't mean he wasn't deeply affected by the chaos he grew up around.
But yo, I don't know if y'all listened to Good Kid Mad City, the album, man. But from start to finish, the album is a story of K-Dot's life growing up, man. Even the story with his, with his mom's car, his dad's dominoes, man, all of this, him out with his boys, you know what I'm saying? All of this is a story from the start to the finish of K-Dot's life, man. I mean, he ain't gonna drop certain things in there, but you listen to Good Kid Mad City from the start to the finish, man. It's all about K-Dot's life, man. And that shit is dope.
We all know K-Dot grew up in a dangerous Piru neighborhood in Compton, surrounded by gang culture and violence. His father moved the family to Compton after Kendrick's mother gave him an ultimatum to leave the streets. But the city of Compton turned out to be just as dangerous as Chicago. Despite their efforts to shield Kendrick, the reality of gang life was unavoidable.
Hey kid, where the pump at, nigga? Don't make me go get that. Go get the pump. Go get the pump. It's a Compton thing. It's a Compton thing.
Death and loss were constants in his world. By the time he was 8 years old, he had witnessed 2 murders. And as a teenager, Kendrick felt the pull of the streets. His father, after recognizing where Kendrick was headed and seeing the kind of company he kept, had a serious conversation with him. My father said, "I don't want you to be like me." I couldn't grasp it at the time. He told me about his mistakes and warned me not to make the same ones. His father was a street dude, and now he was seeing his son heading down the same destructive path. So he tried all he could to steer his son in the right direction. But still, the pressures of the streets were too strong.
That man knew a lot, but not enough to keep me past them streets.
Kendrick, where you at?
My pops was still, you know what I mean?
I said, Kendrick, where you at? Yo, where my dominoes, boy?
Bumping his head too, but at the same time, he always had so much of a love for me. He gave me the wisdom in the game to say, you know what, I did that, don't do that. And sometimes he could stop it, sometimes he couldn't, because I still had my friends surrounding me in the community.
Lil L, Kendrick's best friend since elementary school, represents the Piru set. He became widely known after appearing in noisy Compton. L's life has been turbulent, marked by time in and out of jail since his teens. His mother's addiction to crack during his early years left him reliant on care from others in the community. Jason Keaton is another one of his close childhood friends. He lost his mother in the 6th grade, and by the time he was 14, he was fully immersed in the Westside Piru gang. In 2007, Jason was sentenced to 21 years in prison. After he got arrested, he asked Kendrick to look after his younger brother, Chad. Tragically, Chad was killed in a drive-by shooting in 2013, leaving Jason with immense guilt for introducing his brother to the gang lifestyle. Kendrick also felt guilty for being unable to protect Chad, as he had promised.
I felt more safer in Afghanistan than I did what I do here. It's constantly, you have to watch cars going up and down your street when you walk outside your house.
Man, you don't have some rough life, man. That is some rough life, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, man. Drake don't know nothing about this kind of life, man. He raps and talks and act like he's tough, man, but he doesn't know nothing about this kind of life, man. Because a lot of people are now saying that, you know, whether or not he had anything to do with XX Tentacion's murder, man. Man, that's cap, bro. We all know what Drake is, man. Drake piggybacks off the culture, man. Piggybacks off the culture. Drake ain't no gangster, man. You look at this, man. My man went to the cops just over some simple beef, man. Instead of taking it with chest and move on, man. Drake ain't no gangster, man. He doesn't know nothing about gangster life, man.
You want to see who's out there before you step too far outside your front door now.
Chad was a really hard one for Kendrick. It was really hard for him because Chad was like younger than us, you know, like a little bro.
J-Man, another childhood friend, faced a similar fate.
Sorry, I'm pausing again, but if you check out this documentary here, right? Anyway, I'll drop the link to the channel down in the comments, man. But check out this documentary here. Yeah? This is actually what The Heart Part 6 is about. So check out The Heart Part 6 on the new GNX when Kendrick is telling his story. This is what The Heart Part 6 is about, man. Because he details the time, you know, with J-Rock and, you know, when he was younger with Dave Free and all his boys, man. He talks about all of this inside The Heart Part 6, man. He talks about all of it. Because Drake tried to snatch that record in the disc, man. K-Dot was like, boy, you're way off base, man. Nah, you ain't having that, my boy. So K-Dot dropped the real Heart Part 6 on GNX. And this story right here is exactly what The Heart Part 6 is about, man. Talking about the life and, you know, his upcoming and stuff, man. Because he said something deep in Heart Part 6, man. Man is like, yo, when they went somewhere and it was like a studio or something, man. And it was repping J-Rap. It was repping J-Rap because he knew that if J-Rap made it, we made it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I keep preaching my thing, man. Love, honesty, loyalty, unity, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always saying, man. Love, honesty, loyalty, and unity, man. Always rep that with your people, man. If you know those are your peeps, man, always rep those with your peeps, man. Because if you listen to Hard Part 6, what he's talking about, it's exactly what he's talking about. This kind of story right here.
My big brother was from the hood, you know what I'm saying? So his name J-Man, you know what I'm saying? A member affiliated with a known gang. He found himself going to prison for 25 years. You feel me? I ain't had no daddy or no mama at the time, you feel me? So all I had was the hood.
Some of his other childhood friends are Lil Ducky, J Real, and Yang Yang. Ducky recently just finished a 10-year prison sentence.
So about that Piru, nigga do 2 summers of participation. Bitch, I went 25 summers straight. I've been knowing this nigga Kendrick on my son life. On my son life. I've been knowing this nigga since this, nigga. Yes. On my son, nigga. Yeah. No cap, nigga.
J Real and Yang Yang are mentioned in Kendrick's song Mad City and have appeared in his music videos. However, there isn't much information about them. G-Weed is someone who he calls his big homie. He is currently doing 11 years in prison. Everyone I've mentioned so far all falls under the Westside Pirus. Unlike his friends, Kendrick had the stability of a father who provided guidance.
That's why I said, man. That's why I said. Drake's boy over there, top 5, talking about, yo, if K-Dot come to Toronto to perform next year, you know, they got 2 concert booked for Toronto next year with SZA. He's like, oh, I respect him more if man came over here without no bodyguards or something, or without the police. Man, you expect K-Dot and SZA on their level, on their career, and the amount of target they must have on their back, they're supposed to show up just like that. Your boy Drake goes everywhere with like a small militia, man. And that's facts, man. I don't know if y'all saw that video of Drake down in the parking lot, man. Man had like 4 SUVs and like 10 guys just standing outside there just watching the perimeter or something, man. Plus the guys that he has in the car. So shit, man, get out of here with that shit, man. Yo, Kidda is a gangster, nigga.
And a mother who avoided addiction. Despite this, he didn't shy away from joining his friends in their activities. They smoked, drank, committed petty and serious crimes, fought rival neighborhood kids. He was even banging the set for a time. Here's the thing about gangbanging. I was born in that area where you have to be affiliated. Gangs is my family. I grew up with them. Everything from Good Kid, Mad City actually happened to him.
Kendrick's been making Good Kid, Mad City since I known him. So for me, it was like, all those stories, it was just like, you know, finally, people get to hear the truth, you know what I'm saying?
Did you really meet a woman in a shopping center, or did that actually happen?
Yeah, definitely. It was us being depressed because something just happened to our homeboy, tragic.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, when we got confronted by this lady inside of a shopping center, that was the actual moment that really transpired, you know, to me actually making the...
Yeah, that's what I mean, man. Good Kid, Mad City, man. All of that was like a storyline, man. The story from start to finish, all of that was game, man.
Change in my life. Drinking habits, you'll see when I have them. Yeah. You'll see smoking habits. That was me.
You?
That the guy laced.
Oh.
Reason why I don't smoke, and it's in that album.
Who's the motherfucker that laced your shit?
It's in the story. Sing About Me is definitely a true song. My partner talking to me, speaking on the story how I was there, you know, when his brother passed, and I got to watch him take his last breath. Him, you know, respecting I was down for his brother no matter how much they called him a delinquent. And if I happen to pass before your album drop, I want you to tell this story. Sing about me. Make sure you sing about me. And he definitely passed too.
When he was 15, he got stomped out. And this wasn't the only time this happened. It's almost normal when you're from where he's from. For example, Kendrick has a childhood friend he started rapping with named Antonio, aka Cannon.
Do you know a guy called Cannon?
My dude Antonio.
Here's a clip of him telling a story of when he and Kendrick were attacked and had to fight a group of dudes.
We were walking to the swap meet to get some t-shirts or whatever, and these dudes were like, hey, where you from? And I just walked out. Kendrick was walking with me. And then I just felt knuckles go, bah! It hit me in the back of the head. And I'm like, I spun around and clipped him on the chin. Kendrick was like, hey! And he fighting with like 2 dudes. I don't know what came over us. We turned into like wild Tasmania devils or something, because we was able to beat up 4 dudes with just 2 of us, and we both short. It was the adrenaline that just had us like, y'all not about to just pick on us and beat us up. Like, nah, that's not happening.
Eventually, Kendrick started to realize how lucky he was. He had everything his friends didn't: loving and supporting parents, and a talent that could help him escape his environment. At the same time, he was also starting to see the consequences of their choices.
I was probably the only one in America with an actual active father in his life. I don't know. Well, at least in Compton. I bumped my head a few times, but what they didn't have, what I had, was somebody to say, all right, you bumped your head, now you see what happened? You in the back of a police car. See what happened? You at the station.
In one interview, Kendrick recalled picking up his best friend Lil L and pleading with him to join him at the studio. But L refused, saying that he had to put in work and do his thing. Hours later, he was arrested. What struck him most was the realization that if he hadn't been in the studio, he would have definitely been with L, committing the same crime, and he'd likely have gone to jail too.
Before getting to man, something like that happened strange to me as well, man. Like back in my day, you know, younger day, I used to play some football, man. So as I would come from football presentation after that, you know, hit the club just out the street in the night. And funnily enough, man, one of the guys lived on the same street as me, man. So normally I would walk home with that guy, you know, after the club, I would just walk home. I would just say, yo, boom. You know, he takes a few more steps up the road, you know, boom, he's home. The man, that same night they're coming home, man, him and another guy, man. They met this drunk guy in an alley, like literally 20 seconds up my door, man. They got into a fight with the guy, man. Snuffed his life out, man. Right around the corner from me, man. And if That's why sometimes, you know, people need to move with discernment, man. Because if I was like moving a certain way, I'd be like, yo, I would have been there, man. But like I said, we just walk home together. I would have been there, man. Know what I'm saying? Probably still in jail right now. They got some 20 years or something, man. But sometimes you just need to just follow your mind, follow your heart, man. Just move with discernment, man.
From that moment on, their paths diverged. In a 2011 interview, Kendrick admitted he was almost sent to prison himself. He had been arrested and often faced dangerous encounters with police. To this day, Kendrick avoids sharing specifics about that period of his life. He knows how people fixate on negativity, and he doesn't want to glorify a lifestyle that destroyed so many of his loved ones. Instead, he's committed to being a voice of change.
You know, when you think of Compton, all you think about, glorifying street violence. Me coming from the area and, seeing all my uncles and really seeing that lifestyle, I want to, bring something different to the table.
And from Compton, I could have easily came out and said, I did this, I did that. I done killed a whole bunch of niggas, I done, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather talk about something a little bit more deeper than that. The reasons and the problem and the solutions behind it.
He sees his role as a person who's showing a better path, even though the darkness of his past still seeps into his music and words. This is the side of himself he tries to hide from the public, the hot-headed shadow self, as his partner Dave Free calls it. In a 2022 W magazine interview, Dave reflected on the side of Kendrick. Those moments when we would get impressed, or me seeing that side of Kendrick which people don't know. I've seen that side of him where he'd be a poet in one moment, but then he'd be protecting himself or his family. Through it all, Kendrick chose to rise above. Most of his friends didn't get that chance, and that's why he refuses to romanticize the streets.
First off, RP to my nigga S Braze, my nigga Chad, and my big homie Pup. I do it for them, but that shit hurted when they took my niggas away from me, man. Shit, all of them died gunshots. Got killed.
This person takes somebody you love, you feel like you want to go get some revenge, you know what I'm saying? Like, seeing him battle with that on the road was like hard because it's like, it was real, it's like.
Forgiving his friend's killers was an emotional burden, made heavier by the guilt of leaving his friends that were trapped back home. His friend G-Weed was shot in the head and then right after sent to prison for 11 years. Another friend from the neighborhood, Key Richards, was killed a few years ago. He gave him a little tribute while he was performing on SNL. Because of all the people he's lost, he has made it a priority to uplift his community and give back to those he grew up with that are still around. While Jason was incarcerated, he went back to school and got a degree. He also wrote 2 books behind bars that Kendrick promoted while performing on SNL. During that same performance, he celebrated Lil L finally getting his passport, meaning he could go on tour with them. Since L has been out of prison in 2019, he's been working at PG Lang. He's also being put through school by Kendrick for an executive position that's waiting for him when he's done.
Right now, he putting me through executive school.
Yeah, listen to the realness, man.
Shit, it ain't nothing to play. I gotta stay 100% focused. Kendrick and Dave be on my ass about going to the hood, and it's like, they don't want a nigga in jail, so I understand what they saying. Shit, I be in 5-star hotels with them, like, going to the studios with them out of town, like, certain shit that I don't broadcast because,
J Real, Ducky, and Richie also work at the company. I'm sure like Lil L, there are plans to get them set up long term. He's also looked out for his childhood friend J-Man's little brother Hitter, most recently putting him on GNX. He has created a supportive environment, proving that it's possible to rise above circumstances and inspire change.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all K-Dot is the realest singers out there, man. I don't know y'all can be hating on K-Dot about fighting for Drake, man. Yeah, this is some real stuff right here, man. Yeah, Drake ain't about that life, man. Drake don't know nothing about being a gangster, man. He just raps what he raps. They don't know nothing about his life, man. But something, man, Drake is some silver spoon-fed young little Jewish kid, man. Who grew up in one of them cushy lives, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't know nothing about the streets, man. Yeah, like I said, man. Don't forget to like the video. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe. That really helped me grow, man. I really appreciate how much love y'all been showing me, man. Yeah, just hit me down in the comments, man. And I'll see you in the next one, alright? Peace.